What happens when a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal? Ever wonder what happens when a Sigma spicy lady meets someone who's just as strong, independent, and self-sufficient as she is? You know, when that perfect match finally walks into her life, it's not what you think. Here's the thing. Sigma spicy ladies are all about living life on their own terms. They don't fit in with the crowd. They don't need anyone to validate their choices, and they certainly don't crave attention. But when it comes to relationships, finding someone who understands that deep, unshakable independence, yeah, that's almost impossible. It's like no one gets it. Until they do. But when she meets her equal, that's when things get real. She's no longer just the lone wolf. Suddenly, there's someone who matches her energy, who gets her vibe, and who challenges her in ways she never expected. So what happens then? The 8 things that happen when a Sigma spicy lady finally meets her equal. 1. Mutual respect that runs deep. Sigma spicy ladies aren't about drama or pretending to be someone they're not. When she meets someone who respects her need for space, her intelligence, and her fierce independence, it clicks. It's not about controlling. It's about both of them being free to be themselves. They don't change each other. They just get each other. Mutual respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship, but for a Sigma spicy lady, it's non-negotiable. Sigma spicy ladies don't have the time or energy for drama, pretenses, or anyone who tries to change them. They value authenticity above all else. When they meet someone who respects their need for personal space, their intellect, and their fierce independence, it's like a weight is lifted off their shoulders. This respect isn't about tolerating each other. It's about fully understanding and embracing who the other person is without trying to alter them. For a Sigma spicy lady, the idea of someone controlling her or imposing on her freedom is a deal breaker. She doesn't want to feel suffocated, nor does she want someone who feels threatened by her independence. When she finds someone who gives her the space to breathe, who doesn't question her need for solitude or time to recharge, it feels like a breath of fresh air. She doesn't need someone to constantly be by her side, hovering around her every move. What she needs is someone who trusts her enough to give her that room without questioning it. It's a subtle yet powerful form of respect, one that acknowledges her boundaries and values her individuality. When a Sigma spicy lady meets someone who respects her intelligence, it's another level of connection. Sigma spicy ladies are thinkers. They value knowledge, deep conversations, and critical thinking. They don't have time for surface-level interactions. If someone respects her intellect and engages with her in thoughtful discussions, it signals that they see her as an equal. They don't just nod along to what she says. They challenge her. They question her. They make her think. This kind of intellectual respect is a huge turn-on for a Sigma spicy lady because it shows that her thoughts, ideas, and opinions matter. But respect for intelligence isn't just about having the same views. It's about recognizing and appreciating the value of the conversation. With her equal, they can debate, share ideas, and learn from one another without fear of judgment or ego getting in the way. Her independence is a part of who she is. And when she meets someone who doesn't feel threatened by that independence, it's a game changer. She doesn't need to justify her decisions, explain her lifestyle, or compromise on her dreams. Instead, she finds someone who supports her goals and aspirations, who understands that her independence is not a reflection of disinterest in the relationship, but rather a part of her identity. They don't see her independence as something that stands in the way of connection. It enhances it. In fact, they often share the same values of self-sufficiency and ambition. This mutual respect allows them both to thrive individually while still being deeply connected. It's about allowing each other to grow and pursue personal passions without one person feeling like they're being held back. Neither of them feels the need to change the other because they accept each other for who they truly are. This respect doesn't come with strings attached or hidden agendas. There are no attempts to control or manipulate. Instead, it's a deep understanding that both individuals are free to be themselves, and their bond is strengthened by that freedom. They don't change each other because they don't need to. They don't mold each other into a version of what they think they should be. They just get each other fully and completely. It's a rare connection where two people can exist together, side by side, and feel seen, heard, and respected for exactly who they are. And that, for a Sigma spicy lady, is everything. It's not about changing or adjusting to fit into someone else's world. It's about finding someone who fits into hers, where respect is the foundation and freedom is the key. Stop. Before we dive deeper, if you're feeling this, spicy ladies, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. What do you think about respect in relationships? Does it resonate with you? Now, let's keep going. 2. No need for constant validation. With her equal, she doesn't feel the pressure to constantly prove herself. No more oversharing or explaining. They both just know their worth. It's refreshing for a Sigma spicy lady. Constant validation isn't just unnecessary, it's exhausting. She doesn't rely on other people to tell her she's doing well, that she's enough, or that she's making the right decisions. Sigma spicy ladies are driven by internal motivation, not by the approval of others. They don't need compliments or praise to feel good about themselves, and they certainly don't seek out external validation to define their worth. It's about being comfortable in her own skin, knowing who she is, and trusting her instincts. When a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, something remarkable happens. There's no longer a need for validation. Instead of constantly proving herself, she finds someone who understands that she already knows her value. She doesn't need to perform or wear a mask around this person. Her worth is not up for debate. And the beauty of this, her equal doesn't require constant validation either. There's an unspoken understanding that both of them are enough just as they are. Neither person has to prove anything to the other. This mutual understanding of self-worth frees them from the toxic cycle of seeking approval. This is a relationship built on confidence, not insecurity. For the Sigma spicy lady, a lot of relationships, whether romantic, professional, or social, are often filled with the unspoken pressure of having to live up to someone else's expectations. People often want to tell her how she should act, what she should wear, or how she should behave. But when she meets her equal, there's none of that. Her equal doesn't impose their ideas of how she should be. They allow her to express herself without judgment, which is incredibly liberating. The connection isn't based on what the other person can do for her or how they can make her feel validated. It's about a relationship that acknowledges both people are already whole on their own. And they come together because they truly want to, not because they need someone to fill a void. This feeling of validation coming from within rather than from others creates a sense of peace. It's so much more fulfilling than constantly chasing the next compliment or acknowledgement. She doesn't have to worry about being perfect because her equal accepts her flaws and all. There's no need to constantly prove that she's strong, independent, and capable. Her equal knows that already. They see her for who she is with all her strengths and imperfections. This unspoken bond of mutual respect and shared self-assurance makes the relationship stronger. Without the need for constant validation, the Sigma spicy lady can focus on what truly matters to her: growth, success, and living life on her own terms. It allows her to invest in the relationship without feeling like she's losing herself or compromising her identity. It's a partnership that doesn't require one person to shrink or change to fit the other's expectations. Instead, both partners are free to exist as their authentic selves without the pressure to be anything they're not. And that's exactly how it should be. It's a relationship that works because it's not built on validation, but on acceptance. When a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, they stop needing constant reassurances. They simply exist together, confident in themselves and in their shared connection. It's the type of bond that's grounded in trust and mutual admiration, not in the superficial need for approval. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us reach more Sigma spicy ladies out there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 3. The intensity of the connection. When you meet someone who challenges you at the same level, the conversations are never shallow. You go deep. You get real. It's a connection that's intense and raw, not the fake surface level stuff that most people settle for. When a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, the connection is something deep and intense. It's not about surface level attraction or fleeting moments of excitement. The bond runs much deeper than that. There's something magnetic about the way they communicate, the way their minds sync. It's the kind of connection that doesn't require small talk, and where every conversation feels like it matters. Unlike many relationships where silence feels awkward or uncomfortable, when a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, even the quiet moments are meaningful. They don't need to fill the air with chatter. And yet, there's a silent understanding between them. There's no need for forced interaction because they can just be, whether they're having a deep conversation or sitting side by side without saying a word. That in itself is an intense connection. It's the kind of relationship that doesn't just exist in the mundane moments of daily life, but stretches into the deeper layers of understanding. When a Sigma spicy lady meets someone who can match her on every level, they begin to open up in ways they've never done before. There's a certain rawness that comes with such a connection. No pretenses, no games. It's not about playing a role or pretending to be something you're not. Instead, both individuals are free to express their thoughts and feelings openly. They're not afraid to be vulnerable because they know their equal is not going to judge them. This level of honesty, openness, and trust is rare, and it's what makes the connection so intense. In relationships where one person constantly tries to impress the other or seeks validation, there's a lack of depth. But when two Sigma individuals meet, they don't have to impress each other. They don't feel the need to put on a facade. They can just be real. And that's where the magic happens. The intensity of the connection comes from this authenticity. They challenge each other in ways that push them to think differently, act more intentionally, and grow as individuals. It's not about competition. It's about learning from one another. It's about inspiring each other to be better and to strive for more. The beauty of this connection is that it goes beyond emotional attraction. It's about mutual intellectual stimulation. A Sigma spicy lady thrives on intellectual conversations. She values depth and substance over small talk. And when she meets her equal, the conversations flow naturally. These aren't the kind of discussions that revolve around superficial topics like the latest trends or celebrity gossip. Instead, they talk about ideas, philosophy, life goals, and the world's complexities. They both bring something to the table that the other can learn from. This intellectual exchange creates a powerful bond that's hard to replicate. The intensity also comes from shared experiences and values. Both individuals are fiercely independent and they value freedom above all. But when they come together, they realize that they don't have to choose between their independence and a meaningful connection. They can have both. They support each other's goals, cheer each other on, and give each other the space they need to grow. In fact, their independence strengthens their bond because neither person feels threatened by the other's success or ambition. Instead, they celebrate it. In the end, the connection between a Sigma spicy lady and her equal isn't just deep, it's powerful. It's the kind of bond that leaves a lasting impact on both individuals, one that stays with them long after they've parted ways. It's not the fleeting kind of connection people often settle for. It's the real deal, built on mutual understanding, respect, and shared growth. Are you loving the insight so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, let's keep the flow going. 4. She stops feeling alone in her journey. Sigma spicy ladies tend to feel like outsiders, like they're on their own path that no one else understands. But when she finds her equal, she realizes that she's not alone in her mindset, her vision, or her hustle. They share the same fire. For a Sigma spicy lady, the feeling of being alone is something she's well acquainted with. She's used to walking through life on her own, carving out her own path without the support or understanding of others. She doesn't mind it. In fact, she thrives in her independence and self-sufficiency. But even the most self-reliant individuals can't help but feel the weight of solitude from time to time. This loneliness doesn't come from a lack of people in her life. It comes from a lack of genuine connection. Sigma spicy ladies are often misunderstood, seen as solitary or distant when in reality, they simply have different priorities and values than most people. They aren't interested in conforming to societal expectations or playing the social games that others seem to thrive on. This can make it hard for her to find someone who truly gets her. But when a Sigma spicy lady finally meets her equal, the dynamic shifts. She no longer feels like she's the only one navigating life with a unique perspective. Suddenly, there's someone walking beside her, someone who understands her journey because they've been on their own version of it. Meeting her equal brings a sense of relief. She no longer feels isolated in her quest for personal growth and fulfillment. The loneliness she once felt fades away because she finally finds someone who resonates with her ambitions, values, and struggles. She's not the only one fighting to carve out her place in the world. Her equal is doing the same thing, and together they can share that experience without judgment. This shared understanding is incredibly powerful. It's not just about finding someone to pass the time with or filling a void. It's about finding someone who truly comprehends the depth of her journey. They know that being a Sigma spicy lady isn't easy, and they don't expect her to fit into a mold that society has set. Instead, they appreciate her for who she is and encourage her to keep pushing forward. With her equal by her side, the burden of loneliness no longer weighs her down. They understand that being alone isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's a sign of strength. Sigma spicy ladies choose their paths carefully, and meeting someone who walks a similar one makes all the difference. Her equal isn't someone who needs to be fixed, and they don't expect her to change. They simply accept each other, flaws and all. And this creates a safe space where both individuals can thrive. This sense of shared understanding doesn't just ease her loneliness, it strengthens her resolve. With her equal, she feels seen and validated in ways she hasn't felt before. They push each other to grow, to be better, and to keep striving for their personal and professional goals. There's no pressure to fit in or act in a certain way. There's no need for constant explanations or justifications. She can simply be, knowing that she's not alone in her journey anymore. And in that shared space, something incredible happens. They both flourish. Her equal doesn't hold her back, and she doesn't hold them back either. Instead, they uplift each other, recognizing that their paths, while individual, are aligned in the most meaningful ways. The feeling of loneliness is replaced by a connection that's rooted in mutual respect, understanding, and shared experiences. And for the Sigma spicy lady, that's the most powerful gift she could ask for. 5. A relationship built on freedom, not clinginess. Instead of being smothered or confined, this equal partnership feels empowering. Both Sigma individuals have their own goals and passions, and they never feel restricted by the other. The relationship is like two parallel paths that run together, but never cross into each other's space. When it comes to relationships, a Sigma spicy lady values her freedom above all else. She's not interested in the typical dynamics that rely on clinginess or constant attention. She needs space to breathe, time to focus on her own passions, and the autonomy to make decisions for herself. Her sense of self is tied to her independence, and she's built her life around the freedom to explore, create, and grow without anyone holding her back. For a Sigma spicy lady, a healthy relationship isn't about dependency or constant validation. It's about partnership without the need to compromise who you are at your core. The idea of being smothered or controlled by someone else is a deal breaker. She doesn't want a partner who demands her attention every second, who expects her to drop everything to meet their needs, or who can't handle her desire for space. What she wants is someone who respects her independence and supports her freedom. She wants someone who understands that being in a relationship doesn't mean giving up her individuality. When she meets her equal, that's exactly what she finds. A relationship that's built on mutual respect for each other's autonomy. There's no clinging. There's no unnecessary drama. Instead, there's a balance of togetherness and independence. Both individuals understand the importance of having their own lives outside of the relationship. This doesn't mean they don't care about each other. It means they trust each other enough to allow space for personal growth and exploration. The beauty of this dynamic is that both people can pursue their own goals, dreams, and ambitions without feeling like they're sacrificing their connection. When a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, she no longer feels like she has to choose between her relationship and her independence. Her equal respects that she's not defined by the relationship, but that they add to each other's lives in meaningful ways. She can take the time she needs for herself without feeling guilty or worried that her partner will be upset. And equally, her partner doesn't need to hover or constantly check in. They know that space doesn't equate to a lack of love or commitment. This mutual understanding creates a sense of trust that strengthens the bond between them. The relationship isn't about possessiveness or dependency. It's about two individuals choosing to be together because they genuinely enjoy each other's company and respect each other's journey. When there's freedom in a relationship, there's also room for growth. The Sigma Spicy lady doesn't feel boxed in by expectations. She feels supported in her ambitions and confident in her ability to achieve them, knowing that her partner has her back. And in return, she gives her equal the same respect, allowing them to pursue their own path, whether it's career, personal growth, or creative endeavors. There's no resentment or pressure to conform to each other's timelines or dreams. They each understand that personal fulfillment is just as important as their connection with each other. It's this sense of freedom that ultimately makes the relationship stronger, without the weight of dependency or clinginess. The bond is pure and grounded in respect. It's a relationship where both individuals can be themselves, pursue their passions, and still come together to share their lives. The result is a partnership that feels effortless yet deeply fulfilling, where the freedom to be oneself is celebrated, not restricted. And that's what makes a Sigma Spicy lady's connection with her equal so unique. 6. They grow together, not apart. When a Sigma Spicy lady meets her equal, they're not just partners. They're growth partners. They learn from each other. They challenge each other's weaknesses and help build each other up. It's not about competition. It's about elevating together. When a Sigma Spicy lady meets her equal, it's not about holding each other back. It's about pushing each other forward. There's something incredibly powerful about being with someone who doesn't just stand by you, but also actively encourages your growth. For the Sigma Spicy lady, the idea of growth is fundamental. She's always striving to evolve, whether it's in her career, her personal life, or her understanding of the world. She's driven by the desire to be better, smarter, and more accomplished than she was yesterday. But here's the thing. Growing alone can sometimes feel isolating. When she's constantly pushing herself, it can be hard to find someone who matches that intensity and drive. And that's where meeting her equal changes everything. With someone who shares her values and her ambition, the journey becomes collaborative instead of solitary. There's no sense of competition between them. No need to prove who's better or more capable. Instead, it's about helping each other level up, supporting each other's dreams, and celebrating each other's wins. With her equal, a Sigma Spicy lady no longer feels like she's doing everything on her own. She has someone by her side who challenges her to think bigger, work harder, and push beyond her limits. It's not about someone telling her what to do or how to do it. It's about two people who can bounce ideas off each other, share knowledge, and inspire each other to aim higher. This type of relationship is not about keeping score or comparing achievements. Instead, it's about mutual encouragement. A Sigma Spicy lady's equal doesn't undermine her success, nor does she undermine theirs. Instead, they both celebrate their wins, knowing that they've each played a part in helping the other grow. When they both face challenges, they approach them together. They offer support when needed, but also space when that's required. There's an understanding that growth isn't always linear. Some days are more difficult than others, and that's okay. What matters is that they have each other to lean on when things get tough. The growth that comes from this partnership is not just professional or external. It's internal, too. They challenge each other's perspectives, encouraging deeper self-reflection and helping one another become the best versions of themselves. They each bring something valuable to the table, unique experiences, knowledge, and skills that contribute to their shared development. When they meet challenges, they don't look for someone to blame or retreat into themselves. Instead, they tackle the problem together, combining their strengths to find solutions. This dynamic creates a bond that's both resilient and empowering. It's a relationship where both individuals get stronger over time because they learn from each other's strengths and weaknesses. As they grow together, they inspire each other to aim higher and do more. It's not about becoming the same person or copying each other. It's about bringing out the best in each other while staying true to who they are. They understand that personal growth doesn't end. And as long as they're together, they can continue to evolve both as individuals and as partners. This growth isn't limited to the relationship itself. It extends into all aspects of their lives. Whether they're pursuing new career opportunities, learning new skills, or tackling personal goals, they are each other's biggest supporters. They lift each other up, never letting the other settle for less than they deserve. And in that process, they grow not just as individuals, but as a unit. Together they create something powerful, something that encourages them to keep moving forward without losing sight of who they are. In the end, the relationship doesn't just help them grow. It amplifies their potential, making them both stronger and more capable than they ever could have been on their own. 7. No pretending. No games. In this dynamic, there's no need to play mind games or pretend to be something they're not. Authenticity is key. Both Sigma Spicy ladies know exactly what they want and they're direct with each other. No guessing, no overthinking. For a Sigma Spicy lady, authenticity is everything. She doesn't have time for pretense, and she doesn't expect anyone else to put on a mask either. She values realness in all her relationships, whether it's family, friends, or romantic partners. She doesn't engage in petty games or fake personas. What you see is what you get. And if you can't handle that, then she's not the one for you. She's not here to play mind games or waste time with someone who's not being true to themselves. That's why when a Sigma Spicy lady finally meets her equal, it's a breath of fresh air. There's no need for either person to pretend to be someone they're not. They don't need to put on a show to impress each other. The dynamic is simple and genuine. Both of them know exactly who they are and are comfortable showing up as their true selves. The beauty of this connection is that there's no pressure to perform in any way. There's no need for manipulation, no hidden agendas, and certainly no drama. In a world where so many people play games in their relationships, whether it's sending mixed signals, creating unnecessary tension, or testing boundaries, a Sigma Spicy lady finds peace in a relationship where both parties are honest, straightforward, and transparent. It's about mutual respect and trust. And most importantly, it's about being real. For the Sigma Spicy lady, any relationship that involves pretending is just not worth her energy. She doesn't want someone who hides their feelings or plays hard to get. She wants someone who's open and honest, even when the conversation is tough. When her equal enters the picture, this becomes easy. They don't need to keep their emotions in check or hide behind walls. They can express themselves freely without fear of judgment or rejection. This sense of emotional safety is a game changer for the Sigma Spicy lady. She doesn't have to constantly second guess her partner's intentions or wonder if they're hiding something. The relationship is built on trust, and that trust comes from both people being authentic and upfront. They can talk about anything from their dreams and fears to their deepest desires because there's no judgment and no pretense. This transparency allows both individuals to grow, to challenge each other, and to connect on a deeper level. They're not afraid to show their vulnerabilities because they know their equal won't use them against them or manipulate the situation. This openness strengthens their bond because it removes all the walls that typically exist in relationships. In addition to emotional honesty, there's also a mental clarity that comes with meeting someone who doesn't play games. They can communicate directly without reading between the lines or overanalyzing every word. There's no room for misinterpretation or confusion because both individuals are speaking from a place of honesty and integrity. This eliminates so much unnecessary drama, leaving more space for meaningful connection. At the same time, this lack of pretense allows them to focus on what truly matters, their connection with each other. There's no wasted energy on miscommunication or pretending to be someone else. Instead, they can build a relationship that's authentic, transparent, and grounded in real emotions. For a Sigma Spicy lady, this is the ultimate freedom, being with someone who accepts her for exactly who she is and vice versa. She doesn't have to filter herself, and she doesn't have to guess at her partner's feelings or intentions. There's a beautiful simplicity in the relationship because both individuals are showing up as their true unfiltered selves. No pretending, no games, just a real honest connection that can stand the test of time. 8. There's a quiet confidence in the relationship. When she meets someone who's her equal, there's an unspoken confidence that comes with it. It's not about showing off or bragging. It's just knowing that they both have what it takes to succeed. There's peace in knowing they can do it all together and independently. When a Sigma spicy lady meets her equal, the relationship exudes a quiet confidence that others often don't understand. It's not about boasting or showing off. It's not about grand gestures or needing to prove anything. It's about two individuals who are secure in who they are and who trust each other implicitly. There's a deep unspoken assurance that they're both enough, and together they make something extraordinary. This quiet confidence is one of the most significant elements of the relationship between a Sigma spicy lady and her equal. It's rooted in self-awareness and mutual respect. Neither of them feels the need to seek constant validation from each other or from the outside world. Instead, they find comfort in their shared understanding and the knowledge that they both bring something valuable to the table. With their equal, the Sigma spicy lady doesn't feel the pressure to overperform or to prove herself. She's already proven her worth in the world. She doesn't need to keep fighting for recognition. What she needs is someone who acknowledges her strength and independence without overshadowing her. This is where the quiet confidence shines. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need to be loud or flashy. Instead of seeking attention, they're content in their own skin. They know that their worth isn't measured by how much attention they get or how much they can achieve externally. It's about the internal satisfaction of knowing that they're on the right path and that their equal is walking beside them. For the Sigma spicy lady, this kind of relationship feels like a breath of fresh air. She's no longer trying to be something she's not, or putting herself in a position where she has to constantly justify her choices. With her equal, there's an understanding that they both have unique qualities that contribute to the relationship's dynamic. They don't need to compete for attention or accolades. Instead, they complement each other, each bringing their strengths to the table. This dynamic creates a level of trust and security that allows them both to feel confident in their relationship. They trust each other's decisions, knowing that both of them are capable of navigating life on their own, but have chosen to be together because it enriches their lives. It's a mutual admiration that doesn't come from insecurity or neediness, but from knowing that they're both solid on their own and choose to elevate each other. This quiet confidence also helps them weather challenges with grace. Life throws obstacles at every relationship. But the bond between a Sigma spicy lady and her equal remains steady because both individuals have the inner strength to face difficulties without crumbling. They approach problems with a calm, collected mindset and support each other through tough times. It's not about panic or making dramatic decisions. Instead, they take a measured approach, knowing that they can rely on each other without the need for constant reassurance. What makes this confidence so powerful is that it isn't born out of arrogance or pride. It's grounded in the deep understanding that both individuals are enough as they are and that they are choosing to share their lives with someone who respects them as equals. There's no need for validation from the outside world. Together they build a relationship based on trust, self-assurance, and mutual respect, allowing both to grow into their best selves without ever feeling threatened or diminished. It's a calm, steady confidence that allows both individuals to feel secure in their own worth and the value of their partnership. And in a world full of noise and competition, that kind of confidence is rare, beautiful, and worth striving for. So, if you've watched this video and found yourself nodding along thinking, hey, that sounds like me, then you might just be a Sigma spicy lady yourself. Or maybe you know someone who fits this description. Someone who's fiercely independent, unapologetically themselves, and thrives on living life on their own terms. If that's the case, then welcome to the club. There's a whole world of Sigma spicy ladies out there, and we're just getting started. But here's the thing. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I've shared some key points about what happens when a Sigma spicy lady finally meets her equal, but there's so much more to explore. Whether you're on your own journey of self-discovery, or looking for insights into relationships that are built on mutual respect and independence, there's a ton of content coming your way. And trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. So, if this video resonated with you, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so you'll get notified every time we drop new content. It's not just about learning what it means to be a Sigma spicy lady. It's about learning how to thrive as one. And whether you're learning how to navigate relationships, embrace your independence, or just get deeper insights into what makes Sigma spicy ladies tick, we've got you covered. So if you want to dive into more tips, experiences, and real talk about what it's like being a Sigma spicy lady, you'll definitely want to stick around. I'll be breaking down more life-changing insights and providing advice that's made for real women like you who want to live unapologetically and unapologetically true to themselves. But this isn't just about you. It's about building a community, a space where Sigma spicy ladies or anyone who identifies with the Sigma mindset can come together and share their thoughts, their stories, and their experiences. So if you're ready to join the conversation, subscribe and get ready to dig deeper. We'll talk about everything from navigating relationships to personal growth, tackling career goals, and building the life you deserve. If you're the kind of woman who craves independence, respects herself, and isn't afraid to walk her own path, then you'll definitely want to keep watching. And let's not forget, there's always something new to learn. And together, we're going to build something that's real, empowering, and most importantly, authentic. Now, before I let you go, I want to throw a question your way. I want to know what you think about this. What happens when two Sigma individuals meet? Do they clash, or does the connection just work? Seriously, think about it. Two independent, strong-minded individuals who have spent most of their lives carving their own paths. What happens when they come together? Does it create some sort of explosive dynamic where both individuals want to take charge and lead? Or does their shared strength create a bond that actually enhances their connection? Maybe you've experienced this yourself. Met someone who is just as independent and self-sufficient as you are. How did it go? Did you find that the connection was easy and natural? Or was there some initial pushback with both of you fighting for your own space? Or on the flip side, maybe you've never met your equal, and this whole concept seems like a dream to you. What do you think happens when two people who are used to standing strong on their own finally come together? I'm honestly curious to hear your thoughts, whether you've had experience with this, are just thinking it through, or have your own take on it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one of them because I know there are so many interesting perspectives out there, and I can't wait to see what you all think. So don't be shy. Let's get the conversation started. If you've got personal stories, theories, or even questions about the Sigma mindset and relationships, drop them down there too. Who knows? Maybe we'll explore it in an upcoming video. And if you want to take part in more discussions like this, where we dive deep into what it really means to be a Sigma spicy lady, and you're ready to learn more about navigating independence, relationships, and life with strength and confidence, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. So let's get talking. Let's get real. And let's keep growing because we're all on this journey of self-discovery together. And it's about time we start supporting each other and lifting each other up as we do it. See you soon, spicy ladies.